Hey everybody, welcome to Musical Reviews with Mr. B, where we review the musical ideas we learned about in our instrument lessons. Today's episode is Rhythm Counting Part 3. Now I plan on this being the third and final part of our rhythm counting series. Before, in number 1 and 2, we talked about using a quarter note, which gets one beat, and a quarter rest, which is one beat of silence, right? One beat of sound for a quarter note and one beat of silence for a quarter rest. In this episode, we're adding a group of 2 eighth notes. The first eighth note gets half of a beat. The second eighth note is half of a beat. So when we add those 2 halves together, they take up 1 beat. We can also think about 2 eighth notes as 2 sounds in a beat. Okay? So think back to part 1 and even part 2 of counting rhythms, and we counted the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. We introduced in part 1 the fact that we can put ands in between each of the beat numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? We're going to use those today. Building Time Signatures video told us that we can count how many people we can fit into a room, right? And that symbolized how many beats can fit into each measure. In that particular video, we said we had 4 people in each room. So we had rooms of 4. We took that number 4, and that became the top number of our time signature. Our time signature there telling us there are 4 beats in every measure in a time signature of 4, 4. And we're going to use that time signature today. We also used in the previous videos this guy right here, right? The person we counted in the room, right? This was beat number 1 guy. Well, we're going to adjust him a little bit. We're going to raise one of his hands. So that hand on the left that's down, that's going to count our beat numbers. And then the hand that's up is going to be the and part of every beat. Okay? Now, I know that's a plus sign and it's not an and sign, but that's the and sign. We call it an ampersand. That's tough to draw, and you'll be drawing these in the future. So we're going to use the plus sign instead. It's just easier to draw. All right, so we're going to use that guy. Let's bring him in again. Here's our beat number 1 guy, and we said the raised hand is going to be the and. And I just want you to notice that the 1 is down, the beat number, and the and is up in the air. Here's beat number 2 guy. 2 is down, right? The beat number is low, and the and is higher. Beat number 3, and beat number 4, and. Okay, and I want you to notice the pattern of down and up in each beat. The number 1 is low, the and is high. 2 is low, and is high. We have a down, up kind of pattern. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? Keep that in mind. We're going to bring that back in just a little bit. We can count these numbers in a down-up motion as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? And our eyes, even our head could make that motion, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I was moving my head up and down as I counted that just to get that up and down motion locked in. Counting beats can be thought of as an abstract activity. Abstract means it's just in your mind. It's just a thought. It's a thinking thing. But we like to make these ideas more concrete. Concrete ideas are things that you can move and touch and hold in your hand or show in your body. So abstract means it's just a thinking thing in the mind. Concrete means you can see it and touch it and move it or hear it. Okay? So let's make this a little more concrete. When we say the down beats, or the numbers, our foot is tapped down. But when we say the ands, our foot comes up. So as we tap a steady beat, the downward motion of our foot is on the number 1 and the foot comes up. Okay? 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay? So you tap your foot with me as we count. The numbers is where your foot taps down. The and is where your foot comes up. Ready? And go. 1. Sorry, let me start that again. Ready? Begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Did you see that foot coming up and down? Yeah, that's the general motion. of the foot as we go. The numbers are down, the ands are when your foot comes up. So let's try that again. We're going to tap our foot, and you're going to tap your foot when the hand is down and your toe comes up for the and. So your foot motion will mirror the red lines that are traveling across the screen. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Did your foot move up and down as the lines did? Let's try it again. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Did you notice the numbers and the ands go across the screen? Yeah, I showed it to you two ways there. The up and down motion is to help you think with your foot up and down. But the bottom numbers just traveled straight across the screen because that's the way our music travels. All right? Fantastic. Let's count that again. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay? You got the up and down motion of the foot shown by the red lines and the straight across the screen motion showed by the black ones, the numbers and the ands across the bottom. Let's bring this over to the musical staff because that's where we need it to be anyway, right? Now, remember we just said because we can fit 4 beats in every measure, our time signature is 4/4, right? So at the very left of your screen now, we're using that time signature of 4/4, which means we're going to have 4 beats in every measure. Let's take that idea and make it more concrete and show you 4 boxes going across the screen. So we have beat number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as we count 1, 2, 3, 4, our eyes travel across the musical staff with the music. Okay? Now, we're using the ands here also, right? Let me make that more concrete for you. I'm going to cut that first beat in half. The first half of beat number 1 is where the number 1 falls. That's where we tap our foot down. The second half of beat number 1 is where the and comes. That's when our toe comes up. Okay, so we have 1 and then beat 2 can be split in half as well. 2 and, then 3 and 4 and. The first half of each box, each beat, is the number beat. The second half of each beat or each box is the and. All right? Okay, cool. Let's take that away. Would you count it with me? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I'm even making my voice go up on the ands, aren't I? When my foot comes up. One more time. Ready? Begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right. Let's put some notes here. We got a quarter note there over beat number 1. We have a quarter note beat number 2, quarter note on beat number 3, and a quarter note on beat number 4. Okay? Now, we're going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and every time, regardless of what notes are up top. We're always going to say all the numbers and all the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we're only going to clap when there is a note above one of those things. Well, we have our quarter note above beat number 1. So we're going to clap when we say 1. 1. But are we going to clap when we say and? No, we're not. There is no note above the and after beat 1. So we would clap on the 1, but we'd only say and not clap on the and. 1 and. Try it with me. Ready and go. 1 and. Yeah, we clap on the beat 1 because there's a note above it, but we don't clap on the and because there's no note above it. We clap on beat 2, we clap on beat 3, and we clap on beat 4. So if we look straight across, we're clapping on all the numbers, but we're not clapping on the ands. Let's try it. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... How'd you do? Let's try that again. We're clapping on the numbers because there's notes above them, but we're not clapping on the ands. There are no notes above them. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Right, we're always saying the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no matter what, but we only clap when there's a note above one of those things. Let's take this rhythm right here. In this box, you see beat number 1, okay? That first eighth note is above beat 1. The second eighth note is above the and. So we clap on 1, and we also clap on the and. So that beat would be 1 and. Okay? Will we clap on beat 2? Yes. Will we clap on the and after beat 2? Yes. Will we clap on beat 3? Yes. How about the and after beat 3? Yes. Will we clap on beat 4? Mm-hmm. And the and after beat 4? Yeah. We're clapping on everything this time, aren't we? Let's try it. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Yeah. I'm even tapping my foot while I'm doing this. It may be a little challenging for you, but give it a shot. Ready? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. If any of these are troublesome for you or you just don't seem to be getting it, you can always rewind, watch again, or pause the video and try it on your own. Let's move on to this rhythm. So, beat 1. Do we clap on 1? Yes. We've got a note above it. Do we clap on the and? Nope. Do we clap on beat 2? Yes. And we clap on the and after beat 2. There's an 8th note above that. Beat 3, we have a quarter note above beat 3. We clap on the 3. Do we clap on the and? No. Do we clap on 4? Mm-hmm. How about the and? No. Great. So it looks like we're clapping on all the numbers. The only and we're clapping on is the and after 2. It's going to sound like this. Let me do this for you. Ready? Begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try it with me. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. Yeah. Now we're used to saying ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. Right? That's a good way to get started counting rhythm. But there comes a point when we want to start thinking about counting these rhythms because it just makes things easier in the future for us. All right? Let's try this rhythm here. I'm going to give you a second or two. Look through which parts you're going to clap. As you work your way through, think, is there a note above that number? Is there a note above that and? That's the places we're going to clap. If there's no note above, we don't clap for that. We're always saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, no matter what. Okay? I'm going to try this one, and then I'm going to ask you to try it with me. Ready? Begin. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Can you try it with me? 1, ready, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Let's move to this rhythm here. I'm going to let you work on this one by yourself. So just take a moment to pause the video, see if you can work it out, and then we'll try it together. All right, so hopefully you paused there and took a moment to work it out, see how you're doing. You're seeing if there's a note above the numbers and the ands, and if there are, there are the places where you clap. If they're not a note above the number or the and, that's the places you don't clap. Let's try it. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one doesn't seem too terribly tough, maybe? Maybe it's a good confidence builder for you. All right. We're saying everything, but only clapping where the notes are. Let's try it. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How'd you do? Let's try it again. 1 and 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Hope you did well on that. Let's move along. Here's an interesting rhythm. Yeah. Where do we clap here? We don't clap anywhere, do we? There's no notes. There's only rests. Rests tell us to be silent. So there are no notes above any of the numbers or any of the ands. So we don't clap anything. We're not actually going to go through this one. I just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that a rest, although there's something written above a number or a plus, And doesn't mean we're going to make sound. Because if it's a rest, it's telling us to remain silent. For example, let's look at this rhythm. We're clapping for 1, not the and. When we get to beat 2, there's a rest there. We're not clapping on that. It's silent. We're silent for 2 and. Then we clap on 3, we clap on and we clap on 4. Okay? So, let's do it. Here. 1, 2, and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that again. It may be a little tricky because you see something on beat 2, you might be tempted to clap. But the rest tells us no. Keep those hands silent. 1, 2, and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Let's try another one. Getting rid of the boxes this time. Okay. I'm going to give you a few seconds to look at that and we'll try it a couple times. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Did it get you? Did it trick you? Did you clap on beat 4 because you saw something? Got to be careful there. It's a rest, so we're staying silent. Try it again. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, good. Let's go on to this one. This will be our last one. I'm going to let you take control of that one. Instead of me doing it with you first, I'm going to let you do it on your own first. Then we'll do it together after. So I'm not going to do anything. You try it out. Ready? And here we go. How did you do? Let's try it again, all by yourself. Ready? And here we go. Yeah, the trick on this one is not to clap on the rest at beat 2. Let's try it again. I'll clap with you this time. Ready? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, some of these are tricky. And if you're just beginning to learn this, it may be a little confusing for you, but you can always go back and check it out again, right? Take your time, be patient with yourself, give yourself a break, and just keep working on it. All right, that's all we have for our review of Rhythm Counting Part 3. And sadly, we're saying goodbye to the Rhythm Counting series. Hope it's been helpful for you. Thanks for checking in the videos. Keep working, keep counting. See you again soon.